Ever fresh, ever clean. When you see me a step, you should know I'm a queen. Queen of the jungle. Queen of the jungle. Queen.
Hi guys, it's Secure here by Hairbyrhema. Welcome to another YouTube video. If you're new, a special welcome to you. And you don't know me, my name is Rima Martinez and I am the founder of Hairbyrhema. If you want to get to know me better, you can check out my first YouTube video. It's a get to know me. So yeah, as you can see in the title today, see, and we're gonna show you what not to do and what to do in order to get a perfect knotless braid. Before we get into this video, I want to advertise a product here. My cousin is selling these nano sanitizer sprays. They come in this little cute box. You get the spray, you get a charger cord because it needs to charge in order to work, and you get the charging cord. You don't get the head, but you get the cord. And basically what you do is you're gonna open it and you're gonna put your sanitizer liquid in here, right? And then you're gonna just close it back, right? You're gonna close it back, make sure it's closed properly, and you're gonna press the on knob. You're gonna long click, keep it on until it starts spraying out the product. Yeah, so it's gonna start spraying out the sanitizer. You can sanitize your hand, just press the off button to take it back off. Hit me up on my Instagram page Hairbyrhema to get one of these if you want one. It's $65. They're different colors, have red, black and white. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and let's just get straight into this video. Okay, so on this first braid I'm gonna show you some mistakes that braiders make when doing knotless, right? So we know that knotless braids is supposed to look like the person's natural hair, like it's a plait that's coming from their roots. It's not supposed to have the big knot that a box braid will have. So what I did here is that I took a piece of braid to start with that is a bit too big for the thickness of the mannequin hair, right? So and then I parted the hair vertically, and this is something that you don't want to do because it's gonna make the braid look like it's hanging and it's not going to end up in the middle. So when I'm holding the hair, I hold it with my index and middle finger, and then I take my thumb finger and I kind of wrap the hair around it, and this makes me hold the hair properly in order for me to add it in. I'm gonna add in half of the braid in here and leave the other half out and keep it out of my way, so I'll put it on top the client's hair or whatever. And then I'm gonna continue adding in here. So as you can see, when I take the first half and I use that in the braid and I leave out half, I'm gonna take back that half when I reach back on the left side. So I'm adding in on the left side. Some people adding on the right, some adding on the left. Me, I'm comfortable adding on the left side. So I take the first half, I add that in on the left side, and then I'm gonna, when I reach back on the left side, I'm gonna grab back that hair. And that's just what I'm gonna continue doing until I put in 5 pieces of braid. That's how much I use when I'm starting my knotless braid. Okay, so as you can see here, while I'm braiding down, I'm not adding in any more product. I'm just braiding the hair dry, you know. So it kind of leaves out flyaway hairs, especially if the end of the client's hair is blunt, right? Under the knotless braid kind of looks bumpy. And how you can see the wide space from when the box started to the where the plait is what I mean. It looks like it's hanging. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you all another don't when coming to doing knotless braids. I parted the hair vertically first, and then I took a overly huge piece of braid in here to start the knotless braid with. And as I told you all, I use 5 pieces when I'm starting my knotless braid. So all the other pieces were actually as big as that first piece, which is way too big to start this braid with because as you all can see, the mannequin here is not thick. So when I'm gonna add in this braid, it's gonna look super bumpy. Okay, so this is the second mistake I made. What I did is I actually started braiding the hair, and as I told you before, I add in the hair from the left side. So I actually braided and I waited until the second time that I reached to grab hair from the left side, and that is when I added in my first piece of braid in here. Now this is a big mistake because first of all, the first piece of braid in here was way too thick for the client, the thickness of the client's hair, right? And the purpose of a knotless braid is for it to look as if it's just flowing with the natural hair, right? So what made this a big mistake is that it's gonna look like the hair is literally hanging and begging to be on this plait. So as you can see here, the plait is literally looking as if the braid is hanging and begging and holding on for their life. Like, you can literally see the difference and the big bump from where the braid starts. So these two methods is what we don't want to do. Okay, so now I'm going to show you all how to correctly do a knotless braid. In the first two methods, I parted the hair vertically. However, I like to part the hair diagonally personally. This is so that the plait wouldn't look like it's hanging like the first two examples that I showed you all. So what I do is I start parting diagonally from the middle of the part to the bottom right corner. Right, so that's what I did here. I'm just straightening it out. I started from the middle and I went diagonally to the bottom right corner. Then to get my second section of hair, I'm gonna start from the bottom right corner and I'm gonna go straight up to the top left corner. Okay, so the overall aim at the end of this parting is that you want to get like a V shape, right? When you're finished. This is so that like when you look at it, the middle section kind of ends up in the middle of the box, and that actually shows you where your braid is going to end up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna measure the thickness of my mannequin hair, and that's how I'm gonna choose my first strand of braid in here, how thick it should be. So I'm showing you all. To the left is my first strand of braid in here, and to the right is my second strand. You can see that the second strand is slightly bigger, right? You could hardly see the difference. Same thing with my second and third strand. You're just gonna make the third strand slightly bigger than the second strand where you can hardly see the difference. So what I do is, remember I told you that I start with 5 strands of hair. Each strand is gonna be a little like small tiny bit bigger than the strand before that. This is basically to add body to the braid, unlike before when we was just taking these huge pieces of hair. Okay, so this is how I started this braid. I added in my first piece of braid in here when I was supposed to grab my left section of hair the first time, unlike when in my second example that I showed you all, I added in my first piece the second time I was grabbing the left section of hair. So yeah, that's what I did, and I just continued adding in my pieces of hair up until I added in all 5 pieces. So unlike before where I wasn't adding in any products or anything, I was just plaiting the hair dry, in this method I'm actually going to continuously keep adding in my jam, and I'm going to be adding this into the client's natural hair, and this is just to give the braid a smooth effect and make sure that there are no flyaway hairs, especially if the end of the client's hair is blunt. Okay, so now I'm going to show you all how I add in here to lengthen the braid and also to give the braid some body. So I'm going to take a piece of braid in here that's not too thick and not too thin, and I'm going to pull it so that it's high and low. So one side is way longer than the other, right? I'm going to match it to the section. So the left section of the hair that I'm adding in is going to match with the left section of the braid and the middle section, and I'm just gonna put it under the braid and continue braiding as normal, like if nothing happened. And yeah, that's how I add in hair to my braid. So this is the finished product. As you can see, the braid has body. It looks almost perfect. There's no flyaway hairs, you know, the bottom of the knotless braid is not bumpy, the braid ended up close to the middle. It's not hanging like the other two. And like this middle one where it's bumpy, looking like it's hanging, like it's holding on for dear life. And the last one that's way too big, way too thick. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. I hope this helped. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Bye.